Cloud. Oh, thank goodness. You're awake. You okay?
Yeah. Where are we?
Where I lived, when I was still a child.
Is this confirmation that Aerith is a horse girl?
God damn it, she would be. It's too
Did
bad
we
there's...
really need confirmation Aerith was a horse girl?
No, not really. She's got the energy for it.
Look at that jacket. That's a horse girl jacket.
Are you okay? Maybe you should rest a little longer.
It's rough for her because horses are so rare in Final Fantasy.
Don't scare us like that, man.
You're really only ever going to see a horse if you summon it.
That's how you know she's an ancient. She has a connection to the mystic realms of horses.
So yeah, in this room where Aerith and her mom used to live, or were held, there's been a treasure chest in here the whole time. That's just another weapon for Aerith when she grew up.
One day when you're older. For now, we'll keep it in your treasures chest.
Yeah. But before we can even use that one, we got another weapon for Aerith right before she was captured. We stole it from Eligor.
Mm-hmm. And this one has knives on it.
Yeah, this one's just straight up a staff with knives on the ends. This weapon is also like the ones we just got for Bear and Tifa, like an episode or two ago. That is based around critical hits and things to boost the probability of those happening. This is the Aerith's weapon that has the highest physical attack stat, which is still very low. None of her weapons have upgrades to boost her physical attack, because like you're almost never gonna hit stuff that do physical damage with her staff. Like, you have to be standing right next to something, swinging the staff around, and it will do bonus physical damage. And it's still, even with the bladed staff that has knives in the end, it's still basically almost no extra damage. Like, out of all of the party members in this game, Aerith is, while there's different builds for her, she's the only one that's really relegated to one type of, like, thing. And that's just, it has to be magic-based. Mm-hmm. It's gotta be. Alright, Aerith. Be careful with that one. It's got knives on it.
Are you okay? Maybe you should rest a little longer.
I'm the one who carried you here.
Who put the bangles on you? Who did your hair up like that? Who helps you?
You got no thumbs, dude!
Hojo? Did Hojo help you? I don't think so.
He does not seem the playing dress-up type.
No. Dude's writing fan fiction, if he's not working.
Aerith is basically Disney Rapunzel.
My mom and I stayed here years ago when I was just a little girl. The room looks exactly the same. Every morning, they'd come and take my mom away. I remember crying here alone.
Aerith, before we break out of here, talk to us. There's so much we don't know.
I'm a descendant of the ancients. That's pretty much it, really. Oh, but just so you know, that's not their actual name. They called themselves the Cetra.
We who were born of the planet, with her we speak, her flesh we shape. Unto her promised land shall we one day return. By her loving grace and providence, may we take our place in paradise.
You know it.
Yeah, well, honestly, I thought that part was just a fairy tale.
Shinra thinks it's true. They've been searching for the Promised Land for a long time.
And they must think you can lead them to it. Can you?
Nope. Someday, maybe, I'll find it in me. But now, not even if I wanted to.
Even if you could, that land belongs to the... to you and your people. Shinra's after it because they believe it's rich in Mako. Mako they've got no right to claim. But they'll try to take it anyway, won't they? Greedy bastards will never stop. Okay, new plan. Y'all take Aerith and get the hell out of here. Me, I'm gonna go bust some Shinra heads.
Barrett, wait. You can't do that.
Oh, great. These assholes again. Probably some Shinra science experiment.
Whispers. Perhaps best described as arbiters of fate. They are drawn to those who attempt to alter destiny's course and ensure they do not.
Like capital D? Destiny?
The flow of the great river that is the planet, from inception to oblivion.
And you're saying that that flow is somehow fixed?
Yes, for it is the will of the planet itself.
So if we're destined for a bleak future, these Whispers will try to keep us on that course? Now wait just a damn minute. How in the hell can you possibly know any of that? Spouting that cryptic stuff, which could all be bullshit. Ain't you a Shinra lab rat or dog?
I'm not a rat dog. When Aerith reached out to me, I found this knowledge of the Whispers.
Listen to me. Please.
Aerith!
The Shinra Electric Power Company isn't the real enemy. It started with them, sure, but I promise you, there's a much bigger threat. I just want to do everything in my power to help. All of you. And the planet.
Aerith, what are you not telling us?
I'm lost in a maze, and every step is taking me further from the path. Every time the Whispers touch me, I lose something, a part of myself. Follow them, the yellow flowers.
It's okay. We'll find a way out together.
Okay.
Weird.
Aha! There you are. Rick, what are you doing, man? Hey guys, long time no see.
Wedge?
You're here?
You shouldn't be up and moving.
I'm feeling much better thanks to Elmira's cooking. But that's not what I wanted to talk to you about. Listen, any moment now...
What was that? An explosion?
Anomalous tremors and temperature levels.
HQ's running the show this time. They're raising hell to try and flush out the president. This complicates matters. That explosion just now put the whole building on high alert.
So now we're trapped in here?
Engaging lockdown protocol.
No need to panic, little lady. See? You can still move freely within Hojo's laboratory. Find a way to the roof. An avalanche chopper will come to extract you.
HQ's bailing us out? I doubt it. Not after all the shit we've pulled.
I asked them really nicely. Like super duper nicely.
Thanks, Wedge.
Just get to the roof, okay?
No.
I didn't ask him to do any of that.
Yeah, well, I'm glad he did.
I'm gonna still chew him out for it later.
Wedge knew that you found the biggest cat.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
He's got to get in on this.
I never thought about this. Wedge would be so fucking pumped to meet Red XIII. Wow. He would immediately rename him something other than Red XIII.
Something involving mittens. I don't know.
Probably, yeah. The final turn you into a toad ring in a random room. So yeah, we'll get into it a little bit later in this episode and the next episode. But the Whispers, a new aspect not in the original game.
Anyway, we gotta get to the roof, right?
Then we can use the same elevator that Hojo did.
When I first saw them starting to pop up in the remake, I thought, oh, is this like a new interpretation of the guys in cloaks that you see throughout the game? Because they're from the original game, the guys in the black cloaks.
Yeah, yeah.
But then you get this whole fate thing.
Was it this way?
Yes, his odor still lingers.
Which, you know, fate and fighting against that, a pretty standard thing for JRPGs, but not an aspect from the original game.
I mean, it's a remake. It is pre-written. It's destiny and fate, like it's in there.
Yeah.
What happened here?
The little ones in the pods. Where did they go?
It stinks in here.
Back there.
Now what do we do?
The one thing we can.
Someone's picking a fight.
So go give him one already.
Way ahead of you.
Oh man, it's been a very long time, but we finally got Aerith back in a fight.
Where she belongs? Why not?
I don't know if she belongs here, but she's pretty good at it.
Don't overdo it.
So it's my turn?
Yeah, one of those guys walked right behind Aerith and actually got hit by the blades, and it did, as a critical hit, 9 damage. It is not a viable strategy.
Nice job. What? Shit! What the hell, Red?
We've got Red XIII here. He is the 5th main party member. But this is a thing people were wondering about. Like, the instant Square said, like, oh, the first remake game is going to end at this point of the original game's story, everyone was just like, wait, but you get Red XIII really close to the end of that. What is going to happen there? And it's, you know, the most obvious choice. He's just a guest party member. You can't directly control him. But he will be running around fighting and stuff.
He is a Biggs and Wedge.
Yeah. We got one more bracelet here that we could not get from the arena, the geometric bracelet. Bad stats, good materia slots, as usual. Really wish Chadley was here. I
want to show him my new friend.
I want to show him my new friend, and he has some materia I want to buy that you cannot get from the vending machine. Oh well. Should point out, Red XIII does have some materia on him that he does use in fights. And you can actually see, the materia on him. It's on his collar. He's got materia slots in his little dog collar. I know. He's skinny. Yeah, he's got 2 materia. He's got 1 empty slot there. I like that his dog collar has linked materia slots. The 2 materia he's got on him, because he actually does use these in fights, he's got Cure and Poison on him. And there's a real suspicious looking door here. Like the mini-map and everything, like it doesn't get cut off here. Like it clearly looks like it's supposed to extend further. You cannot open this door unless you're playing on hard mode. So we're gonna have to come back to that in the post-game.
Let's go.
Right.
Hell is this place?
Hojo's treasure. Shinra's dark secret.
What I wouldn't give to burn it all down. But we need to get to the roof. What is that?
Genova.
Mother. Together, we will reclaim our world.
I'm sick of this. I'm sick of all of this! Cloud?
Tell me, is it really you?
Don't deny me. Embrace me. A touching reunion.
Very, very good. And thus is the hypothesis proven correct. I can only hope you will continue not to disappoint.
I'd better hurry.
Your mom's tube is held up by a bunch of Christmas lights that got left in the closet for too long.
Yeah. All these big weird pods. All right. So Cloud's on his own for a little bit, so we got to switch a couple things around. This is the final dungeon. Kind of.
Ooh.
If the final dungeon also had a bunch of other stuff that comes right after it as well. But it is the final big dungeon of the game. Cloud's having the Buster Sword and all the other stuff that kind of evens his stats out, and also has lightning, materia, and elemental linked up in his armor slot, because there's a bunch more of those weird experiments walking around. They all cast like high-level thunder magic at him, so...
Test subject pods? Guess I can use these.
These are the really big test subjects too, like the boss, the boss ones. You see all these points like, ooh, Cloud's gonna do a cool jumps. No, he does a dorky little jump. He does little hops. Again, still saving all those jump points for something. You never know how big or how far away a final boss could potentially be. You've really got to save it up. Mm-hmm. There's no items that restore jump points. Just
Cloud
time.
is definitely the type to save all of his ethers.
Yeah. Gotta min-max that stuff. Got some of these guys, haven't seen them in a while.
Concentrate.
Also got HP absorb on Deadly Dodge for Cloud, so... A lot of these little guys, he could just get back to full health real easy.
Mm-hmm. Can I get back to the rest of my party? I have to teach Aerith 2 new skills for 2 new weapons.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's a lot, and we're in the final dungeon. I don't know if I got enough time to do that. This materia, this specific one, is really finicky about where you have to stand to pick it up. I don't know why. Yeah, up ahead. Now we got some more of those experiments, and we got Red XIII waiting up over there to join our party.
Hey, bud.
Need a hand?
Thanks.
So yeah, cannot be directly controlled. Can't give him commands or anything. He's just an AI guy. I'll have to show it once we beat the game and we're doing post-game stuff. There are, like I mentioned before, save game editors for this, and it is actually possible to hack your party so that you can have direct control over Red XIII. And he actually is controllable, and he like works with normal controls and stuff, because they had to like set that stuff up anyways for his AI to use it, I guess. And who knows, maybe they had already like done a little bit of work into making Red a full party member for the next game. Yeah, he's got no abilities, he can't change his equipment or anything, but if you hack him in, he can dodge, you can move him around, and he's got some basic attacks, and that's about it. But it's cool that he's still controllable.
So long.
You okay?
Yeah. Where are the others?
Nowhere close.
Let's go.
I am curious what type of like combat role Red will have once he is like a full party member, because out of everybody in the original game, he was probably the party member I used the least, maybe, or the second least. Also, we got Red XIII parkour.
Hell yes. Now that's what happens when you spend your jump points.
If we flip that switch, we can get to the other side.
I may be able to do that.
I'm ready to do a trick for a treat.
You sure?
Yes.
Hojo taught me this trick.
I don't like how many of your bones are visible. We need to feed the kitty.
any of our healing items double as food? Are potions filling?
Will this do the trick?
We're sending you over to the Yakuza games. There's a lot of food there for you to eat.
Yeah. Is Red 13 this grumpy just because he hasn't been given any treats recently?
Yeah, he's hangry. That's all it is.
He needs the wet food. He wants the wet food real bad. Look at him. He's looking up at me. He's making eye contact. He's hungry.
I prefer the fancy feast because I am a fancy boy. My past is too tragic for Whiskas.
What kind of freak show have they got going on in here? Whoa. Bring it on! Stay back!
Need a hand?
Yeah, right. Just having a little bit of fun with it, that's all.
For how long?
Long as they took you to get it.
Yeah, look at him go.
Yeah.
Fire whipping them boys.
Yeah, he's got a lot of like little spin attacks, a lot of tail whipping.
Get your ass out of here!
Yeah, Red. On top of the two materia he's got, he also does have some abilities already that he will use sometimes. Certain fights he's like always scripted to use them at certain parts. Fights like this, he just kind of randomly pulls them out. Red isn't like Wedge in that he actually does a decent amount of damage when he attacks stuff. Unlike Wedge, who is doing like single digits, and he's just kind of there to, like, I'm helping, but not too much.
The narrative requires me to be here, and it would be weird if I did not participate.
Yeah.
You're up.
Let's do this.
I'm just trying to watch your new little friend and see what he's up to.
Uh-huh. Especially for people who may have come into this, you know, without knowing too much about the game and maybe only recognizing a couple of the main party members. It is funny to see Red 13 get added near the end because I think a lot of people aren't aware of Red because in the other spin-off material, Red 13 does not show up very much. He's not a relevant character in that stuff, and the main reason why is because even though, like in Advent Children, you know, the fancy CG movie from the mid-2000s, they could not make Red 13 look good because they couldn't get the fur to look good at that time.
Yeah, fur's hard.
So, yeah, Red 13 just didn't appear much because he looked like shit. Like, he's in Advent Children for a total of, like, 3 minutes, and he has 2 lines. It sucks, because I liked Red 13 as a kid. Anyways, we got a new Shinra robot that's just all knives.
Well, turn on a giant LAMP unit, and it'll get attracted to it.
It's got a drill for a face.
Hell yes!
It's got a drill for a face. They had an extra drill, so they put it on its face.
I love the way those arms work, too.
Yeah. Pretty similar. When we get around to playing this chunk of the original game, we'll see the animation, like the idle animation for the moth unit in the original, and he just kind of wiggles his hips a lot. It's really funny looking.
Oh boy.
Yeah. The moth unit is weak to wind and lightning magic. It's really hard for Cloud to generate any type of ATB because if you try to get in to attack him like this, you just get chopped up by the blades. And like, if you try to, you wait for the moth unit to attack you and it's like, you know, try to parry him so that you can get ATB that way, that doesn't work too well either because the blades are spinning for so long you can't parry it a second time, you'll just get knocked out of the way.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. If you ever see a moth unit, try to steal from them because they have an Iron Maiden on them. That's the piece of armor we picked up in the vehicle showroom that has no materia slots but a huge amount of physical defense on it. And this is the only other way to get them. You can't buy them. These guys also are really hard to stagger. The only time you can even fill up the meter is actually after you piss them off, they'll get extra powered up. They'll charge up. They'll have like electricity all over them. They'll start charging up a really powerful move that can instantly kill one of your members, usually. And
that's your chance.
Yeah, and after they do that move, they're pressured.
Hey, you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
If you say so.
Guess we're out.
What's the plan?
First, we find Tifa and Aerith. Then we head for the roof. Should be an elevator somewhere. Didn't expect any of this, but we just gotta roll with it. Come on, let's go.
But hey, Barrett, now that I found you, just to be sure, how would you describe, like, pretend I wasn't there at the bridge. How would you tell me what happened at the bridge? What did you see?
Did you see a beautiful man? How much hair care does he do? That's all I really need to know.
Just wait until you find out Red XIII is the cat that you forgot to get the eye drops for all those days ago.
No.
The door seems to have locked. No going back.
Yeah, that's the reason why Red XIII didn't give us his real name in the previous episode, because it's a really embarrassing thing Sephiroth named him. It's like Sephiroth's little baby or something like that.
Sephiroth would name his cat after himself.
Yeah. I am Sephiroth, and this is my cat, Sephiroth. Also, look at this fancy-ass sword.
Ooh, damn.
It is, the description says, it's 2 swords glued together.
What does that do aside from cost a lot of money at a Renaissance fair?
Yeah. Twin Stinger, I mean, it's got all the usual elemental upgrades that we are skipping. The Twin Stinger has even stats between physical and magical stuff, just like the Buster Sword. Despite it being Cloud's final weapon in the game, it has the worst physical and magic stats, but it makes up for that for having a ton of passive buffs on it. It also has an assload of materia slots, has a huge amount of MP upgrades, so if you want a ton of magic points, this is the weapon to use. It has a lot of upgrades for reducing how much damage you take while you're guarding. It makes your MP regenerate faster, so yeah, it's trading stats for a lot of passive buffs, which can be really handy depending on what fights you're doing. And it'll be a little bit before I show it off, but the ability that comes with this weapon is also extremely good. Yeah, even when this weapon is fully upgraded, worse stats than every other weapon in that Cloud has. It's kind of funny that it works out that way. Yeah, adding a couple extra things to Cloud here. The cleansing materia, time materia. And for Barrett, he just needs the MP up. That single round of fights we did with him, he had 1 MP at the end of that. Like, like even though Barrett can be pretty decent at magic, his MP is just like the worst out of the entire gang, I think. Just naturally. Like, the amount of MP Barrett has right now with the MP boost is barely more than what Cloud had at the start of the game.
Hey, go fetch the stick, boy. All right.
Yeah.
Good boy.
All right. Now you're starting to impress me.
We got him.
Yeah, keep it up, y'all.
Don't move an inch. We'll head down too. Be right there.
Huh? I can't hear what you're saying.
I think there's something over there.
Hello? Cloud? Can you hear me?
Yeah. You okay in there?
No need to worry. We're fine. But what do we do now? I don't see any way out of this room.
Can you all hear me?
Hojo.
So, tell me, how are you finding the drum? You know it's filled with the most advanced technology in Midgar, if not the entire world. You should feel honored to see it firsthand. You'll also have the opportunity to take part in a rather ambitious experiment of mine.
What?
When all the pieces are in place, I will open the door to the third ward. Perhaps you can help me with the necessary preparations. Given that you're already in the perfect position to do so, I look forward to data both invaluable and instrumental.
Necessary preparations? What the hell is this asshole talking about?
Can't we just ignore him and keep going?
I'm afraid not. If I know Hojo, he won't let us out until we indulge his request for data.
He said something about a ward, right? I'm pretty sure I saw a door to one upstairs somewhere. So, you want to check it out?
You two will be on your own. Be careful.
Thanks. We will.
We'll be waiting right here. If anything happens, anything at all, you call me, alright?
Roger that.
Hey, you think Cloud's doing okay? He's been acting really weird lately. More than usual.
True. But it's Cloud. I'm sure he'll be fine. But what about you, Tifa? How are you holding up?
Huh? Oh, I'm fine.
Having zero flashbacks to my cowgirl days. Definitely not in my mind right now. Gotta think about being this Umbrella Lab right now.
Did that help? You feel better?
Love to roundhouse kick some crates.
I would love to see Aerith's animation for busting crates. Does
I know.
Does she bonk him with a stick?
Yeah, there's never a point in the game where you get to bonk crates as her.
She leans over and she just unlatches one and they all fall apart the same way.
Yeah. So with Tifa, got some protection against slow and stop. The usual ATB boosting things on her parry, item master. And with Aerith, giving her the healing necklace thing again. So this is a dungeon where we've got the party split between two groups, which means you're going to be switching back and forth between them. So you can either like juggle materia every time you switch, or if you've been a good boy playing this game, you should have just been leveling up multiple copies of materia so you don't have to do that. I did not do that with the healing materia, so I've got a completely fresh one I gotta level up now.
I guess this has to be the third ward, right?
Think so, but it looks like the door's locked.
There has to be something we can do. Let's look around.
Gotcha.
Thankfully, Aerith's magic is so high that even using a completely unleveled cure materia still works out okay. Aerith?
Where are you going?
Aerith, what are you doing?
Where are you going?
Aerith?
Now they can get across too!
We should let Cloud know.
I think he knows. He probably saw and heard and felt that shake under his feet.
Just feeling really clingy.
Cloud, can you hear me? We found the door to that ward he was talking about, but it's locked and we can't get it open.
All right.
About those preparations Hojo mentioned before. I think we're supposed to do something with that.
The central terminal. Interesting.
We were fiddling with some sort of control panel. Do you see a way to get across now?
All right. We'll make our way to the central terminal. Sit tight until you hear from us.
The hell kind of research is this?
The cataclysm that came from the stars, Genova. Hojo has devoted half of his life to her study.
I don't give a shit about any of that.
The experiments in this facility involve the enhancement of life forms and machines through the application of Genova biological data. Hojo's plan is to pit his subjects against us, thereby facilitating their growth.
So this asshole thinks he can treat us like his experiments.
I know what fate awaits these creations. Let us put them out of their misery. We must first find a passage that leads to the center.
All right, so the little thing we're using to talk to the different parties, it's called a PHS terminal. This is a little reference to the big chunky cell phone you got in the original game, which was how you would call up your party members so that you could choose who was in your party later in the game.
And at the end, it told you which was the dreamiest boy to date.
Ooh. PHS in real life stands for Personal Handy Phone System, which was the name of like the mobile phone network in Japan.
That's cute. That's a cute name.
But in Final Fantasy VII, in the original game, PHS stood for Party Hensei System, with Hensei being Japanese for editing.
Ah.
There you go. Yeah, these shock rays, if they're ever around with the really big ray, if they ever link up with it, it just permanently has like that force field that pushes you away from it on.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta kill those to turn it off.
Ooh, gotta love it.
My turn.
When we were fighting these blast rays earlier, that I completely forgot you could do. So if you stagger it and it's got the force field up and it's pushing you away and all that, if you just freeze it with stop, you could just walk into the force field and it doesn't do anything to you.
Ah.
Yeah. Stop is just way more useful than I thought it was in my first playthrough. Like, I completely ignored it.
Oh, no, you don't.
Yeah, there's one of Red XIII's abilities, Sidewinder. He does a big, cool flip.
Ooh. Oh, look at that fire trail. Yeah.
Yeah, looks pretty cool.
Oh, he wants you to scratch his tummy.
Yeah, if getting Red midway through his rolling animation is pretty funny. Especially because it's like he's got his little paws tucked up. He just looks cute.
I was cursed to be adorable.
I just love the character design of Red being like, okay, we got like a cat dog type guy, but what if he had a cool mohawk? He needs to be cool. What's cool? A mohawk.
And fire.
Yeah.
Put one on the front, one on the back. We're done.
There's no control panel. We don't have the means to go this way.
We don't, but you do. You're the party leader now.
Even though he didn't pull a switch, he's still gonna get a treat. I want to know Red's thoughts on Stamp.
Stamp is a traitor to his kind.
Wait a sec. Weren't the girls right by the door to the third ward?
There are 4 switches. 1 for each ward.
What the?
Transfusion procedure complete. Commencing test of augmented research specimen.
You need to warn the others. Tell them to be careful. Very careful.
Yo, there's a fucking augmented research specimen! This sounds bad!
You know that door you're standing next to that just opened?
Tifa, you there? We accessed the central terminal. The door should be unlocked now.
Any one of Hojo's twisted creations could be in that ward. Be careful.
We will. See you in a bit.
I wasn't gonna be careful until he said something.
Okay, I love you, bye-bye. Every time I use the PHS terminal, like, you hang up, that's the sound, the hang-up sound is the I'm hanging up a codec call sound in Metal Gear Solid 3, and it perks my ears up every time. Every time.
Anyway, I'm coming up with movies about this guy named James Bond. I know you haven't heard of him. He's brand new to our whole society.
Yeah, I just thought him up.
He's very cool.
Okay, he's kind of like the Turks, but like a little different.
What if they all wore their clothes like correctly, though?
Yeah, yeah.
Gotta win at all costs.
I'll show you what I can do.
I'll show you what I can do. Fuck shit up.
What is that you've got on the end of your stick?
That's a chunk of ice. She's got the ice element linked up.
Yeah.
So here's her new ability with this weapon. It's Lustrous Shield. It's just a big flower shield.
Ooh.
It completely blocks all projectile attacks, and if enemies try to attack you through it, they'll just bounce off of it.
Look at them go.
They'll take a tiny amount of damage when enemies run into it. The shield also retains whatever element you have linked up if you got one of those going.
So yeah, in these hallway fights between that and the gravity orb,
yeah,
you could have some fun, like spatial, like setting up your own checkpoints. Choke points, that is.
Yeah, what's really nice about the shield is that you can have several up at once.
Ah.
I forget what the limit is. I think it might be 3 shields at once.
What is this place for?
There's a sadness.
There's a lot more Red 13s.
There's a angst here.
That is a bit... There was some content or ideas that were not used in the final original game, where there were supposed to be more, like, Red 13s that were, like, evil experiments of Hojos that you would fight.
Oh no, I don't want to fight him. I want to put him into a nice, a supportive no-kill shelter and find them forever homes.
They could be chocobo herding dogs.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not allowed to have a Red 13 in my apartment. The lease doesn't allow for pets that size.
Yeah. There's also a clause in there that says that none of your pets can be on fire.
You don't want to make me mad.
All right, so it's my renter's insurance, okay? I'll have a dog on fire if I want.
Get him!
So this fight, early on when this game first came out, there were like some reviews and other people message boards going like, God damn, this fight right here is the hardest fucking fight in the whole game. Fuck this. And it is because it's just a whole lot of dogs that can stun lock you out of your moves. And do a decent amount of damage. They can gang up on you.
Every little bit helps.
But there's honestly a lot of real ways to make this fight pretty easy. It is if you've been going through the game and doing a decent amount of just like kind of like button mashing to get through a lot of the fights, this will be a really hard one though. We got the enemy skill on Aerith, so she's using Algid Aura, which, you know, just puts an icy aura around her. All the dogs are weak to ice. So even if she's getting bitten, they're taking a decent amount of damage from that. One of the other strategies, or potential strategies, which is just like, hey, what if I just had ice magic on magnified to hit all these dogs with ice at once doesn't work because these dogs have a 100% chance to dodge all magic.
Oh.
Unless they're in the middle of an attack or staggered. So you can't really rely on that too much, unfortunately.
But just have a blizzard follow you and run into them.
Yeah, and then it's fine.
Why don't you lead the way? Let's go.
Also, Tifa's parry slide can also put these guys into pressured status pretty frequently.
Here goes.
You think Hojo actually loved Red XIII in his own fucked up way and was starving him to get him beneath, like, the weight cap on his leash?
Hojo seems like the guy who would bring his experiments home.
Well, you can't be more than 40 pounds. I guess I'm going to cut you in half. I love you, my friend.
It's not the first time he's cut something in half to bring it home, I think. Like, Hojo's a guy who's got, you know, like, cold cuts out on the counter making a sandwich, and right next to that is just, like, a severed head or something. And that's just how he lives. It's just a dentist's office. It's just a dentist's office. It's just a really big, open dentist's office.
It's a dentist's, like, training office.
Yeah,
you know?
there you go.
It's dental school. That's why there's money lying around. That place is a scam. Hey, you got a name. You seem dangerous.
So it's my turn?
Especially when you go into, like, these side areas of the drum. I like the, like... It's not scary, but it's got a spooky atmosphere to it, and that's fun.
Yeah, it's spooky.
How about you back off?
But yeah, there are some limitations to the shield. Like, yeah, it can block projectiles, but what if that projectile, like, curves or, like, goes above the shield? Can't block that, unfortunately. Yeah, we got the Zenin? Don't know how to say it. But look at him. Zenene. Planet Zebes.
Whoa.
Honestly, a little more fucked up in the original.
Yeah, right?
really creepy in the original.
I'll show you what I can do.
Yeah, this guy, a lot of poison moves. Pretty aggressive. If you piss it off, it will get powered up, it'll start glowing all green, and then even just touching it has a chance of poisoning you.
It's on you.
Damn it.
No, I don't think it will, Aerith. I don't think this'll anything.
Yeah, a lot of the voice clips Aerith has for when she puts up the shield, she never sounds particularly confident in the shield. It's like, this'll keep you away. I don't know.
Let me handle this.
I do like how much of her stuff is playing with the space, you know, or the double spell zone, a shield just hanging in the air.
Yeah. So one of the reasons I like the transition to it being real time is, you know, now you've got the added dimension of just moves that deal with space. Like, I guess you could do that in a turn-based way, but then it would probably be more like a tactics game.
It would be Mega Man Battle Network.
Yeah. Got some secret treasure over here.
Oh.
I like how much Aerith is keeping her cool in the spooky zone. Like Tifa, okay, sure. She's already seen some shit, but Aerith... I guess if you just deal with fake ghosts your whole life, maybe that changes things.
Look.
Let's get across with those.
Tifa is afraid of ghosts.
Yeah.
So I think they're both doing a really good job in the spooky place. I guess medical monstrosities aren't the same as the spirits of the damned.
Yeah.
Did we wake him up?
Yeah, looks like it.
One of the things that I like to think about with this game is how a lot of video game remakes, at least up until the past couple of years, have been very concerned with just being one-to-one for the most part, with only like gameplay improvements or graphical improvements. While this game is, the whole time has been super aware that it's a remake, and I feel like you don't see that nearly as much with games as you do with when you get remakes of movies.
I mean, if you're going to go into film, it is very, very common for, like, stars of the original to come back in featured cameos, things like that.
Yeah. And this is definitely, like, the part of the remake that's the most controversial. Some people are like, yeah, this is interesting, and other people go like, nah, this sucks, fuck the plot ghosts, which, like, yeah, they're right to call them that. They are literally plot ghosts. I was like how these guys glow. That looks cool.
Yeah. Hojo saves a lot of money on lighting. And he puts that into his dedicated maniacal laugh pod. That's why the rest of the board can't touch Hojo. They don't like him, but he sticks to a budget, damn it.
Yeah. There's like one really overworked accountant who's just dealing with all of Hojo's stuff, and it's just like, Jesus Christ. It's just this one fucking room. Hojo doesn't even get paid a wage, I think. He just loves this shit. He's doing it just for just from the love of the work.
The only volunteer executive.
Yeah. Look, I will reduce my wage to 0 if you let me be even more unethical.
I believe that Reeve works for like $60K a year.
Yeah, and that's not, like, Reeve's just getting fucked over. Like, he doesn't know he could ask for more money, and even if he did, like, nah, fuck you. So we got a new piece of equipment here. Force bracelet, bad stats, but 2 pairs of link slots. Pretty nice.
That's more materia than your new party member can have on his entire body.
Yep. Poor Red.
I guess there aren't a lot of vending machines inside captivity.
Yeah.
Which is surprising considering all the places we've seen vending machines.
I mean, yeah, there were vending machines just earlier in the drum. Some energy drinks. Great. Aerith, please.
Hey, out of my way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, not enough. Oh, God.
Are you trying to kill me?
I think maybe Aerith is just trying to test out the fate ghosts, the whispers. How far does this go?
Is this really the exit?
I hate that man, I really do.
So I'll point it out in later videos in the Let's Play, but essentially, yeah, in earlier parts of the game when the whispers have been popping up, is because events or actions characters are taking are starting to deviate too much, and they are trying to keep that stuff on track.
And so when they came out en masse to attack the slums, it's because everyone living there was a deviant.
The deviation in that part of the game is, you know, all of the Chapter 4 stuff with Jesse and Roche and all that stuff didn't happen in the original, and that's because Cloud was never kicked off the team in the original game. And so the ghosts attack the slums and then hurt Jesse so that she can't go on the mission, so Cloud is forced to rejoin the team. Yep.
That one's weird because, like, you added an antagonist to represent people upset that A, things change, B, a girl is doing too much.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Nothing's gonna stop me. Gotcha! You're up! So it's my turn? How about you back off?
Ghosts, you mean the ghosts don't care that Hell House is a special boss and not a very memorable random encounter?
Right, yeah. I like this fight here because he could just have Aerith hide right over here. It can't block everything, like those missiles that come from above. Not really gonna work out, but... The only issue with the shield is that the AI characters aren't very good at using it. So, like, you know, I set that up so Aerith can just hide back in that little chokehold and not get hurt. But she ran the fuck out here. She wants to hit stuff with her knife staff.
I've been waiting to use this knife stick for hours of gameplay. You will not stop me from using the knife stick.
This should make you stronger. Back me up, okay? Gotta go for it now. Break on. That'll do.
Who are you pep talking? Is it yourself?
It's her butterfly. It's her butterfly she summoned.
Oh, okay.
This'll keep him away. Tagging out. I got this. You're up. Here goes.
There was a certain point where I suddenly realized, like, oh wait, okay, I know what the Whispers are doing, and it was the point where you're escaping from Reno and Aerith is about to fall off,
Worked up a good sweat.
fall over the railing, and one of the ghosts saves her from falling. And then I was just like, oh, okay. And then the whole game I was just like really enjoying the game, but then also thinking, oh my fucking god, what are they gonna do with the Whispers? What the fuck are they doing?
You think now the others can get across too?
Yes, the answer is yes. They very clearly can.
Hey, Cloud?
Tifa?
We used the control panel here a little while ago, so you should be able to get to the other side. Can you check?
Roger that. I'm getting pretty bored anyway.
You two stay there. We'll call if anything comes up.
Okay. Be careful.
I really had to make myself remember this for this recording. Every time I switch here, I just run straight for the door without fucking opening it, and then Red 13 tells Cloud that he's being a dummy, and you gotta open the door.
Transfusion procedure complete. Commencing test of augmented research specimen.
Let us now move forwards through the 4 wards.
Ah. Shut up, Red.
My comedy is black like my soul. I only joke about dead kids.
It's also how I like my coffee. I've never had it, but I imagine it would be great.
Yeah, dead kid coffee.
Yeah. I drink the souls of children. Take me to the train graveyard.